Welcome to Breaking the Chains Repatriation Journey. I'm here with my sister Cicely. She's in Ghana right now, giving me a quick little interview while she's riding along. We're gonna get her to introduce herself. Sis, tell these people who you are.
Okay, greetings everybody. I'm Cicely. I got McClennan and your boy last name. I'm carrying two, and I'm about to switch one out for Boateng by next August because I'm getting married. So
Yeah,
um, I we've been in. This is our the end of our second year, literally today. This is the beginning of our third year straight living here in Accra. And we first came to Ghana as a family in 2012. Um, After about 8 good years of just my husband, my late husband, was going back and forth. We was trying to do some business over here to give us a foundation to be here. And then we finally visited in 2012, and then we ramped up our repat plans. Just so happens that both he and my mother passed away, and it threw us off schedule, but it didn't throw us off course, you know. So
right, right.
we still came on, and the grace of God is just so good that I can't even, people talk about repatriating, and it seemed like, oh, it's so scientific, like you got to make your plans, you got to have everything perfect, and all of this. Well, if you waiting for that, you probably will never come. You probably will never come. But we didn't. We had went through so many changes that we just decided, it's now. Now is the time. Let's get it. And we came on over here. We built the house here. I'm working with United Media Group. We're building an internet radio station. I'm working with a lot of different groups of people over here, just doing what I can, to support the process, the repatriation process, and just support the Pan African perspective
Yeah.
being shared across media. So so far, that's what's up for me. It's it seems like I'm not doing anything, but it's a lot going on over here.
Sis, let me tell you, I know the feeling. A lot of times it feel like, I know for me it be feeling like you ain't getting nothing. It's not getting enough done. It's not enough
Yeah,
happening fast enough, and all of this
yeah.
stuff. But then when you look back at it, you get like, whoa,
We did
okay,
a lot.
we did a
And then,
lot.
and then God, God makes it look good. When people see you working here, it's really, an enjoyable environment.
Yeah, it really
It's
is.
it's a very laid back environment. Um, your anxiety, whatever issues I was having with anxiety, is reduced probably, I would say, about 80%.
80,
You
90
know,
percent Yeah.
yeah. So it make it look fun, but
Yeah.
it don't mean it ain't nothing going on.
Right. So let me ask you, speaking of the anxiety of things, with the climate that we in right now, shit is just really, it is what it is.
It's a
You
shit
know,
show.
it's a complete shit show.
It's what it looks like
And
from over here.
yeah, it is. It is. I literally, I got back over here in November, the end of November, early December, I think, something like that, early December. And it's been, I hadn't anticipated being here this long. And I can tell the difference in my anxiety levels and my skittishness. Like I'm always like
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
always on go. And I find that when I'm in on the continent, like it seemed like on my way there, all of that just subsides. So how do you feel like about our people who they thinking about coming, or at least doing a visit, but they not like, maybe they don't understand just how much a stress relief it could be just to do that.
Yeah. Sometimes I find myself trying to explain it, and then I end up saying I can't tell you, I can't explain it. You have to
It's
come
hard to
and
explain.
see for yourself. You know, but most of us can feel the atmospheric change and the aura. You know, you can feel the
Yeah,
difference on the plane on the way over here, especially if you have mostly Africans on your plane. You
yeah.
know, like if you gotta fly through Europe or anywhere, it's a little different. You
It's a
don't
little
start feeling
different.
better.
Yeah,
You don't start feeling better till you actually get into the African airspace. But
yeah.
you can absolutely tell the difference. You can feel it. I've experienced something similar to that when I was living in Chicago, and I would go out to the farm areas, which, believe it or not, is nice farming within an hour from Chicago.
Really?
And yeah, there's a town there called Pembroke, and it's one of the first black towns that was formed by escapees and whoever we got together.
Oh
And
wow.
believe it or not, they actually been on the map as one of the most poorest places in America. But if
Mm.
you go there, then by poor, that means they're off the grid, and white folks
Uh,
is in they fucking business
yeah,
there. So sometimes I would go there to work on a farm or something like that, do some stuff out there, and it wasn't the same as coming to Africa, but you can absolutely tell that you're in a different space, a different vibration, a whole relief and
yeah,
release. You can
yeah.
feel it on the drive. The closer you get, the better you feel. You
You know,
know,
I had that same experience going to Jamaica. Every time I go to
yeah,
Jamaica, it just feel I just feel a
yes.
whole decompression happen.
Yes, yes. When you start being around black people and
Yeah.
then you're surrounded by them, it's just things change. I think one thing that made me real crystal clear about it is because when I first came, I was nursing my baby, and he was a big baby, like what I'm talking about one,
Mm-hmm.
2 years old, and I was still nursing him. And so, in American society, that's low key alarming.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you always feeling, some kind of way about feeding
Yeah.
your baby, and you trying to figure it out, trying to, not have people all up in your shit, and you don't want no confrontation, but at the
Right.
same time, you gotta feed your
Got to
kid.
feed the child.
Okay. So we on the plane coming over, and I was just like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then as soon as I got in town, and it's a difference between town and country here too,
Right.
but at the same time, it was just one of them things, like we would be in a transport and my baby would get agitated, and one of the old ladies be like, put some
Yes.
titty in his mouth. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Just like
Yes.
that. And
Yeah.
here you can, and I love how the whole Islamic thing is so, it just illustrates it so much to me, because you could be modest all day long, but that titty still coming out to
That's
feed
it.
your
That
baby.
titty coming out. Yeah.
So it's like biology and culture kind of it can override religion sometimes,
Yeah.
and it does here, to the
Absolutely.
extent where you really feel comfortable feeding your baby.
Yeah.
The minute we got out of African airspace and I was on that plane, and here come this boy pulling all on me, I didn't even want to feed him no more. The
Yeah.
whole vibe on
It
the
was
plane
all.
was just so tight and
Yeah.
so, for lack of better words, fucked up,
Yeah.
that I was like, oh my God, the whole anxiety just
It shoot through
popped
the
back
roof.
on again.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even feel comfortable feeding my baby no more, on the airplane. And I was like, damn, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's a difference. I mean, it's just a bottom line. A lot of people do talk about this whole thing, like, what are Chinese doing this and that. Okay, all of that, they over here, they trying to do dirty. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
But when you drive around and you see these brothers working on these big engineering projects and stuff like that,
Yeah.
It's like a whole different
It's
thing.
different. It's very
A
different.
whole different thing. You never see that in Chicago. Only people who get those types of jobs is all European Eurasians.
Yep.
Nobody in Chicago. It's hard for a tradesman to even get work sometimes, unless you're
Yeah.
driving a truck. And then it's like as soon as the brothers get on and start doing something good, here comes somebody else to take over the industry and push them out again. And it
Yep.
happens so much. So you get here, you go to the hospital, your doctor black. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? The headmaster to your school is black.
Black.
The engineers is black. The architect for your house is black.
Black.
You know,
Everybody
you
look
go
like
to a
you.
hotel, unless you go into an American hotel, that shit is black too. And it may be franchised out to a black person. You know what I'm saying? 9 times
Yeah.
out of 10, it is. So it's just a different, and the difference between Jamaica and here is you know, Jamaica is an island, you
Exactly.
know, so
That's the
it
only
has that
difference.
island flair. Yeah, it's smaller, and honestly it's a little constrictive, you know, um economically for black people there. You know what I'm
You know,
saying? Where Whereas in Ghana, you see people making moves at all levels. You know,
yeah.
you don't
You know,
have
for
as much
me,
flexibility financially in Jamaica as you do here. So you see
oh
black
yeah,
folks
definitely. Definitely. I
making
totally agree with that.
plenty
You know,
money over here.
as far as Jamaica goes, the thing that I wouldn't, I don't know if I would, I don't know if I would actually move there, because of the economic situation and it being such a
Yeah,
smaller place. But the feeling
yeah,
that I have there is because they build very similar to Ghana. The
yes.
whole the hospitality is very similar to Ghana. Like my
The food.
husband, yeah, the food. My husband, when he was when we went, every time we go there, he's just like, this is Ghana. It just have a prettier beach. Like this is Ghana with a prettier beach. Is
Yeah, they
he
clean their
feels
beaches. It's what they
yeah,
do there.
yeah. He feels very at home there, and I love it there. My mom loves it there, but Ghana for me is just like. So let me ask you this: out of all of the countries, the 54 nations on the continent, what made you choose Ghana?
I married into that one.
Me
You know,
too.
so the choice was made when I chose to marry a Ghanaian brother. You know, and he would have been open to other places, but you know, you got to establish a base somewhere,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
so we really already had a base here, so it just made sense for us to continue on. I'm still hoping to move around a little bit. We've been constricted a lot, you
Mm.
know, for the last this year. But I'm still hoping we get around and see some other
You
stuff and
will.
see what we think, see what we how we feel. I got some friends in Tanzania that I want to visit, and you
Yeah,
know,
I do.
so
It's imperative that we see more because I lived in Guinea for a year and a half, and that was a pretty decent experience. I wouldn't live there. I don't pretty much like the francophone vibe, but it was a different experience. uh and Ivory Coast, I thought Ivory Coast was pretty cool. um Still that francophone vibe,
why?
I don't know, it just like when I landed in Ghana, it was dark, and before I even seen anything, I was just like, yeah, I like this feel good. But I've been in other places and I ain't get that same feeling, you know? And I think everybody need to go and get what feel good to them, because just because Ghana feel good to me and Ghana feel good to you, it might not feel good to somebody else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I met about 2 or 3 people that don't like it.
Yeah,
About two or three out of thousands.
I know. So, and I know some people who have traveled all over the continent, and they just like, even been to South Africa, been to Kenya, they've been all over the place, and they still say Ghana is where they had to be. So they came and planted their roots in Ghana.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of reasons for that. Some could be a little bit scientific and historical.
I think so too.
Yeah, because when you look around, Ghana is a very diverse population of Africans. So you can tell Africans from all over the continent have roots here, some deep roots.
Yeah.
So I see that, just walking around. So it makes sense that a lot of us would be drawn to this area, if nothing else, because everybody is here.
Yeah.
Literally, everybody is here.
Everybody. It's like you can't name some a group of Africans that's not in Ghana. Like everybody. Like, so let me ask you this, because a lot of people always ask me, well, what made you want to move to Africa?
Man, what made me not? My question is to myself is, why the hell didn't I do it 20 years
Why it took you so long?
You know what I'm saying? I should have did when I first thought about it. Then I would have been on something.
But what was it that, way back when you had that first thought? What was it? Was it just a ancestral pull, or what was it?
It was an ancestral pull, but I had to learn how to identify what it was. Mm-hmm. So I kind of, it's not hard to get a clue about, the American environment. If you grow up, in the heart of South side of Chicago, where drugs and violence was an everyday, experience. Normal. Yeah. I knew that stuff was jacked up. And I remember being like 8 years old, and my mother never really been the most, I don't know how to describe her, but I can't say she was apolitical, but she had just a very quiet way. She wasn't vocal like me. Maybe she went through a vocal phase, and she saw some things that just didn't add up. And then after that, she's like, I wish I would spend 1 minute of my time being involved in that foolishness, right. So one day, it was July 4th, and just like all other kids in that area, we had our new clothes on, and we was on our way to a barbecue. My dad was driving, and me and my brother was in the back, and my mother pointed out the window, and she said, look at all the niggas celebrating their independence. And from that moment on, I realized that this is some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You imagine being 8 years old, and she said it, and I have obviously never forgot that. I got it just like that. I looked around. I said, this shit don't make no sense, because this cannot be freedom. Right. This cannot be it. Right. How can you be a nigga and be free? It doesn't add up. So to me, that was the beginning right there. Like, how I live in this country, but it's Independence Day don't have nothing to do with me.
Nothing.
So everything else that happened after that just took me along the path. Right. So by the time I was in college, I realized, like, this ain't our foundation. Our foundation needs to be built up. And so I knew I could verbalize at that point that I am a Pan-Africanist. Yeah. And I believe that Africa is primary for Black people. And absolutely. I do not think that we can see freedom anywhere in the world until Africa is strong. Period. Absolutely. So I understood it at that point, but it didn't occur to me that I should come to Africa at that time until I met Brother Yao. And then it was like, the first thing I thought, maybe within 6 months, and I told, my friends, I'll never forget, it was like a Kwanzaa Umoja Day. And you know how you have to go around and talk about stuff or whatever. And that's what I told everybody. I said, I'm happy the brother, I feel like he came to get me. Yeah, I felt like at that point, I said, this brother came to get me. He came to get me and bring me home. I was clear at that moment.
Ooh, that gave me chills, girl.
Yeah. So in the process, we lost him. But like I said, in his final act above, in his final, I brought his remains home to be buried here. And the Kwayu people, his friends and family, that's that's how I feel. I feel like they picked up the baton and helped me run the next leg and brought me on actually here. Yeah. So the pathway was formed. He came and got me. He brought me here. He couldn't run the next leg, but it was his people was right there. You know what I'm saying? They looked at us and they was like, y'all might be worth something over here. Come on, we'll help you. Come on, we'll help you. That's bring the kids. Come on. And they, true to that word. The Boateng family, which is also Kwayu people, man, the way they have embraced us, I just, you know what I'm saying? I will find the words, but I'm still not able to even articulate how much they just embraced us. I could tell you that I housed so many people, from my parents, the different family members, people getting out of jail, over the years, maybe a dozen people. It's hard for us to live in a house without, extending our home to somebody. And I was proud of that. But in the transition of all that happened to us, I felt like I didn't feel like we needed help too. We needed somebody to step in and help us too. And here come these people like, well, we built the house. You guys can stay there while you build.
Yeah.
When the last time you stayed at somebody's house for 2 years and they didn't sweat the shit out of you for money?
Yeah.
When the last time you did it?
Man, I can't say that I've ever done it.
Man, exactly. How?
Yeah.
Who even has who can do it? Who can do it? But an African at home. Exactly. Somebody that just has something. As my mother would say, they have a window and what she say, a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out of.
Yeah.
We don't have that in America, hardly. So it's hard for you to get that kind of help. But here, a lot of people do have what they call a home, and it's up to them to extend that home, and it's common for them to do so. And we just happen to get in where we fit in on that one. So that's a huge part of it, because a lot of people worry about the finances of coming here. But obviously that channel is not just open to me,
Right. So speaking of the finances of coming over there, you have children, and a lot of times people think because they have children, this is not something that they can do, or for whatever reason, a lot of us, we put limitations on ourselves by saying, well, that's so far, that those tickets cost so much. It's like we come up with so many reasons why the move could be an impossible thing to do. What would you say to people who would say that to you? Like, how what would your response be? I can't move to Africa. I want to move to Africa. I can't move to Africa because I got kids. I don't really make that much money, and I can't afford that. I can't even afford to move from here in Atlanta to Houston. So how I'm gonna move all the way to Africa?
I had an interesting process. I had a real interesting process with that. Hey baby.
Go take that off. Go ahead.
I had a real interesting process with that. On one hand, you don't want to tell people when you're trying to make a move because they're very discouraging.
Right.
They can be. But on the other hand, if you don't tell nobody, you can't get no help.
Exactly.
So sometimes I tell people, don't tell people you're moving here. Just tell them you want to come here to do something and you'll be back. Don't give them that impression, that you want to just get over here and stay for any indefinite amount of time. But if I look at it in hindsight, if I had not have told anybody, I would not have been able to make it over here. Because just as well as those, some people tried to discourage us, a lot of people helped us, man. I mean, I'll give you one big example of it. We was down to the wire. We had sold all our shit. Whatever we didn't lose, in some catastrophic loss, we just incurred a series of just major losses. Life, property, we just was going through in Chicago. And I was telling a friend of mine, a Nigerian friend of mine, who's a retired professor, that we got to bite the bullet. We're bleeding money over here. Just being here, this money could be better spent over there. You know what I'm saying? It's just time. I'm going to take the kids and move up out of here. I need this much for a ticket. I'm short. Right. You know what I'm saying? He went, didn't even tell me. He went and talked to one of his friends who happened to be a travel agent. And I don't care what they say about Nigerians. When you need to take care of some business, you better hope you got some Nigerian friends, on your speed dial. He took me to the office. You know what I'm saying? He took me to meet his travel agent friend. And the man sat there and worked out 3 tickets for us for a price that I dare not repeat. But let's just say we bought them and we got over here. Just like that. I ain't even have to sell no arm or no leg to get those tickets. You know what I'm saying? 3 of them. Yeah. So he worked it out. That's just one example that wasn't totally against it. All just pitched in. They all pitched in to help us. And we needed the help, and it's not that we didn't plan and we didn't plan well and all this other stuff. You could plan all you want to, and I guarantee you're going off course in this journey. So we was on plan D or E by the time we got here. It wasn't even A, B, or C. It might not even be E.
I know the feeling, honey.
So yeah, people was backing us up right and left. One of my friends, it's a couple. My friend is a fashion designer and her husband is a chef. They hosted a beautiful party for us, helped us raise money. He cooked. I mean, it was like the best ever. It was just amazing. I mean, everybody was just, pitching in wherever they could to smooth out our path. People I didn't even know, they heard that you taking your children. I just wanted to give you this, and honestly, it is that community, there in the community here that basically made everything possible and really gave me the faith to even say, okay, we could do this, you know. And I was
Yeah.
so paranoid. I was paranoid about malaria. I was paranoid about the schools. I was paranoid,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. Everything I feared have I don't those are not even fears anymore. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That was nothing. So
And you know, I'm glad you say that because I try to help quell people's fears because I mean, naturally, especially as parents, um, you're gonna have some fears when it comes, especially to the children. Like, you know, because for me, I'm like, if it's just me, I could I could deal with the malaria. I could deal with whatever challenges that we may have um on the journey, but I have 4 children. So how am I going to make sure that my children are okay? And I think that's a concern for a lot of people as far as coming there. They wonder like, how are my children gonna fare in this journey? And with you being there, you're building, you have a lot going on. You have you have some of your children there with you. And I know your other daughter is coming soon. What would you suggest to people as far as the children go and their acclimation? Like,